All right, we're live. All right, we are live. Welcome to the Wednesday Proudmasculine live stream. First one of the new year, 1/1/25, January 1st. Welcome everybody in. I hope y'all had an amazing new year, a fun night together with people you love, or just having fun. I had an amazing night last night and a very laid back, amazing day. What's up, King? Good seeing you in here, man. First up, a few things before we get started. Tonight, I did a viewer poll, and it was majority voted fitness to be the topic tonight. There was a few topics I gave, which should the first stream of the year topic be. 3 options, 77% picked fitness. So it's fitness, which is good. It's actually fitting for the new year with the resolutions and whatnot. But this is something you should be doing anyway, regardless of what time of the year it is. But hey, what better time to start and impart some change into your life than the beginning of the year? It has a little extra something to it. I get it. And I'm not a resolutions guy, but I do think about ahead of how I want my year to go. And just as I suggest any man starting change in their life, start with fitness. Start with your body. You apply the same principles you do to create that change over time, aesthetically and physically. You apply the same principles to anything else, to success. It requires the same characteristics. And what I find is with the physical, when you see somebody who can, put the time and discipline and the focus in on that, and they actually get to see the tangible change, seeing their body transforming, it's inspirational, and it only instills and imparts more confidence into the man. And you get a better understanding of what it looks like. Because after you've put some time in, you realize that it's not an overnight thing. And it's something you have to make a lot of adjustments and changes and commitment to. It requires a ton of discipline and a ton of perseverance, a ton of patience, just like anything else that you want to see change and be successful in your life. It requires the same amount of things. What? You can't hear me. Who said that? Let me see something. Are you sure? You better not be fucking with me. Look, dude, I'm in the middle of a flow. You come in here starting that shit, I'll boot your fucking ass. Don't come in here playing that shit. Anyway. Like I was saying, the topic's going to be fitness. Look, you come in here playing silly games like that, I'm going to kick your ass out of here. Don't come in here playing around. If you don't take what I'm saying seriously and you don't take yourself seriously, take yourself elsewhere and get out of the way so the people who are serious about being here can be here. You understand that? That's your last and only warning. I've seen you around here before. You seem to be all right. But don't come in here fucking around. Good. Now we got that out of the way. A few things coming up for the new year. I have my Patreon up. I'm still not. Hey, Sparrow. Glad to see you in here. Happy New Year. A few things. I have this Patreon set up. All right. Well, y'all can hear me now, huh? That's all that matters. Moving on. this year coming up, I've opened the memberships area in my live streams for YouTube, not live streams for YouTube. There's a membership area to where we're going to start doing members only live streams for a few reasons, because of the people who come here and contribute regularly, especially the people that contribute financially. I want y'all to get my full attention and, focus on the people who are members and committed to this channel and this community. And we'll start breaking off to have members only live streams where only live members can interact. Also, my Patreon, which I still have not gotten linked up to how to send the link to take on members to build that Patreon community, but it's coming. I have it all set up, the account set up. It's going to be a 3-tier system. The most is about a cup of coffee a day every month. So I made it super affordable, for people who are kind of in a bind. What's up, Dub? C Dub. Look at this. I made it super affordable for anybody, especially, I understand some people on, financially tight spot, but so I made it affordable so you'll have a way. There's no way you can't make that happen. It's like $2 a day, something a day. So that's with the Patreon. And when I have it all put together, the top tier, the platinum tier, is going to be, hold on. Do I have a C-Dub? Boot this motherfucker here, please. This is a serious stream. This ain't like my live for anybody who looks remotely stupid. Make sure you boot them quickly. Do you see that? Yeah, the idiot saying, "What are you proud about?" I mean, anything remotely suspect, because I'm gonna be getting into this flow. Good evening, Scotty. Good to see you, man. Glad you came in tonight. Minute you see anything remotely sketchy, bump them, and don't time them out. Make sure they never come back. Because when I get going, I'm not going to have time to even really look and tend to any of that. And I want the people who are in here and asking serious questions and getting serious information to be able to concentrate and pay attention without the trolls fucking shit up. Capiche? Good. So, like I was saying, back to my Patreon real quick. Let me wrap this up and get this behind so we can get started with this whole fitness thing. The Patreon is going to be 3 tiers: platinum, gold, silver. Silver, which is the lowest, which is going to be super costly, but the only thing you're going to do is get access to the videos, just to the videos that I'm going to have on Patreon behind a paywall, strictly for Patreon. It's going to be things and topics that I delve into that are hugely beneficial to a man, but you can't put it on YouTube, right? And this is all going to be different from what y'all used to seeing in the 100-day, 100 push-up live stream lives. This is going to be totally different stuff, to do with dating, relationships, image, mindset, sex, all these things that, you're curious about and you really want to level up on and grow in. Understanding human nature, female nature, male nature, how all this stuff ties together and works, is going to be spelled out in great detail on the Patreon. These are things you can't put on YouTube. You get your channel shut down. So the silver, what's up, Fresh? Good seeing you back in, man. The gold tier is going to be the same thing. You get access to all the videos, behind the in the Patreon, what you call it, server, I don't know, the Patreon library, along with 2 2-hour live Zooms with just me and the members of that tier and the members of the platinum, twice a month, 2 hours long. It'll probably be on a Sunday, as is where I have it right now, barring some other change. It'll be on Sundays for 2 hours straight, where you get to come in with your questions, um, and you get my full attention, one-on-one, uninterrupted. Nobody from the outside coming in and giving their feedback and trying to help you answer questions. I think that's confusing. Platinum tier, same thing, 4 lives per month, once a week, 2 hours per week. You come in, just us. What is a vertical stream? I don't understand that. Thank you for saying that, though, because I've been seeing that in my analytics, and it's something about a vertical stream. Please explain to me, y'all, because I have no fucking idea what that means. Vertical as opposed to what? So I get more views, but what does vertical mean? How am I streaming vertically? What does that even mean? I was always wondering why I didn't get many views in these Wednesdays. Now I'm interested. Does anybody have a brief description of a vertical stream as opposed to whatever the other one is? The other formats? It's in the settings. Not too informed on how to change it. Really? I had no idea. So that explains why I barely get any views in these Wednesdays. See, verticals, when people can scroll and just stop. To be able to watch this particular live, you have to actually click and you're stuck on it, as opposed to being able to just scroll to others. I don't know. Let me see something. Y'all sit tight a second. Let me see if that's something I can switch up real quick in settings. No. Oh, shit. Hold on. Let me try one other thing real quick. Then we'll get started. Well, thank y'all for bringing that to my attention. I've been doing this for a while and I had no idea. Y'all sit tight. Or if anybody knows how to change this in the chat, say something and we'll do a screen share. All right. 1 second, y'all. I'm coming. No, I get that. Yeah, I know that, but the only thing I do differently is on my phone. I don't know what the vertical, does that mean where you have the video and then the chats underneath that scroll that go up? I don't know what that means. Look, if anybody in here knows how to switch to that to make it vertical as opposed to whatever it is I'm doing, say so. We'll stop what I'm doing. I'll share my screen with you and we'll get that rectified. Get this thing going. Well, if that's the case, C-Dub, I'm not starting a stream over. We've already started. Matter of fact, we're in 15 minutes already. Oh, well. Let's see. How do I get back to where I was at? I'm coming, y'all. This kind of threw a wrench into my works here. All right. Well, guess what? We're going to move on tonight. Thank y'all for the information. I'll make sure to change those settings. I'll get in touch with my guy and tell him to switch that up. See, on vertical, we see you as the whole screen, and the chat is just at the bottom. On this live, we only see you in a smaller square up top, and the chat does not appear to have to open the chat. Oh, I think I see what you're saying. Well, I don't know how to change that. I'd love to. I don't know if it just does that automatically by default because I'm on the phone. Because that's the only thing I do differently is I stream on my phone for the daily live check-in stream. And this is I do on a computer, a little setup I have here with a few ring lights and shit. I don't know. All right. Well, good. I'm glad y'all mentioned something. I'll look into that and get that straightened out. Let me see. I just found something. I may be able to nope, nothing here. Well, good. We have the information that I need, and I'll just roll with it. Well, come on, y'all ready to get this thing started? What's up, baby blue? So yeah, I will. So y'all understand the Patreon group. We have the new members feature for YouTube. So start paying attention, pick a spot. Because after a few weeks when things get settled and I have this whole scheduling and program worked out, I'm gonna start doing more member only. And especially starting out and having these streams, I've noticed all the junk and distractions and trolls and dipshits that jump in. And it's potentially distracting, especially when you're getting on a good flow and a good vibe and, you got some good information flowing. And trolls and all can really mess up the flow of the stream. So tonight's topic is fitness. Like I said, I did a voter poll. 77% picked fitness. So we got to go with it. Happens to be one of the things that I love and am passionate about, staying in shape. If I'm being honest, I got to tell on myself, I haven't been doing as good a job as I normally do. I haven't even been up to my own standards. And it's a few things. Hold on, y'all. Let's see. We've got a few people coming in. Decided not to take the Uber to New York. Oh, New Year's Eve at Robo and Culver made sure I didn't drink. Good, quiet, King. Good on you, brother. Way to hang in and way to stay straight. Yeah, don't fuck around like that. It's too many easy ways to get to and from nowadays and to risk drinking and driving. Another lesson I've learned the hard way. And I told y'all about that. But good. So look, we're getting into the topic here. Y'all hold your questions to the end. C-Dub, you want to hold the chat down? You and Baby Blue, y'all hold the chat down. And I'll make some time at the end to answer some brief questions. If anybody has any, if not, I just want to listen and make sure. I don't mind the chat moving along, but obviously keep the dickheads out and the questions. Anyway, I haven't been doing as well as I typically do with nutrition or my regimen, my fitness regimen. And I can tell you a bunch of excuses as to why I got this going and that going, which I do. I do have a lot of different things going on. In the past month, I've I'm not even going to tell you all of it because it doesn't matter. It's all a fucking excuse. I don't want to hear your excuses, so I'm not going to give you mine. I've dropped the ball and I need to pick it up. And I will. I will. There's no doubt. So, fitness is something that seems to be too in and out of popularity in people's lives. And I view fitness as fitness for me is not a phase. It's a part of my identity. A fit person, a person who takes care of themselves, health conscious, physically conscious, body conscious, all these things. This is not just one thing that comes and goes in seasons for me. It's something I've adopted for many years now as a year-round part of who I am as a person. As long as it's being a father and in recovering alcoholic, business owner, all these titles and stamps and labels we want to put on ourselves is just a person who prioritizes fitness and health. And so I say that leading to the point of having it as a fad or a phase where it phases in and out of your life is never going to do any sustainably quality long-term effect in your life. And to integrate fitness and health into your life is only bringing it a whole step up, a whole level up. Because if you look around these days, what you see is not a very flattering example of the human physique and form and the everyday guy and girl walking around. People have just let themselves go, all under the guise of, oh, I'm too busy. Oh, I got kids. So you do all this other shit. You telling me you don't have 30 minutes, and at minimum 30 minutes 3 times a week. I'm not saying you're going to win any bodybuilding contests like that, but if you're just looking to stay healthy and keep yourself, from being a fat fuck, then yeah, you can do it. Anything else is an excuse, and I don't want to hear it. At the very least, you can dial in your diet. And this goes in with the fitness. This isn't about having big biceps and, having a beach body. This is a whole package: training, nutrition, and rest. My biggest struggle has been the rest component. So I've tried to make it, and the older I get, the more I need, the more rest. And I'm starting to learn to prioritize that, which is good. And look, I have vices. You see these pouches, nicotine pouches? I suck on a vape when I'm at home. I don't take it out with me every day, all day. But, I pop on a vape, and stuff like that. And this is all shit that I don't approve of. The nicotine pouches, I could probably let slide. It's just a little dose of nicotine, which is a proven nootropic, and it helps productivity and concentration and focus. But it doesn't really have any seriously adverse health effects. So I'm not saying you got to be perfect. You don't have to be. I know a guy whose only cheat meal is once a year on his birthday, and his cheat meal is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I mean, this dude is like hardcore, but I just can't see where that would fit into my lifestyle, my personality. And, you can still enjoy life and max out the healthy side. So I kind of live by this 85-15, 80-20 rule where, 85% of the time you're eating right, you're training right, like you got all that shit dialed in, you got your sleep right. 15-20% of the time, cut loose. You can eat a shitty meal, or have a long night and party, or mess your sleep up a little bit. It's not the best thing to do, but it's not the worst by far. And if you're doing it 80-85% of the time, then that small room for error that you have is not going to derail you or set you back really far. And I've found actually that when you get involved and really steeped in how, when you really begin to understand and internalize this whole change and what it looks like and what it feels like, when you're so committed and you put such thought and discipline and hard work and commitment into that, you really don't even have the desire to color outside of the lines. You know what I mean? Like you eat some shitty meal and you feel like dog shit the next day. You're like, why the fuck did I do that? Well, you miss a couple of training sessions and you're like, I feel like shit. Why did I do that? And the unhealthy options really don't even appeal to you. And because one of the biggest things that are going to hold you back with this and adopting this whole, fitness aspect as a part of your life, as a lifestyle, is the other habits that come with the fun party type lifestyle, the drinking, the drugs and all. You still may be young and have a social life and like to go out and do fun things and go on dates and go to clubs and shit like that. This is why, and even when you get older, like, do you want to take your girl out to eat and be eating like chicken and broccoli? You go to a nice place, you ain't going to split a fucking dessert, have a badass appetizer. No, there's no reason for that. You can still enjoy the small things and the finer things in life without having to torture yourself and beat yourself over enjoying yourself a little bit. But you're very discriminant about these choices you make and these times you choose to step out and do those type of things when you invest so much time into yourself, into your body and your overall health. And not only that, it encourages you to look at all these other areas of life to get up to par with how you look and how you feel. Then you want to check on your mental health and your spiritual health and your emotional health. And it just blossoms into every other part of your life. And I think, I know for sure that once you dial that in, your body, your fitness, your health and nutrition, it becomes a lot easier. It requires a lot less effort and you're just kind of on autopilot. Like anything else you adopt as a habit in life, you find your groove in it and it just sticks and it just becomes an everyday routine. You don't really think much of it. You just kind of do it. And, for people who aren't really familiar, or maybe they haven't seen you, or maybe they don't know you, and they say, man, you look like you work out. You look like fit. I mean, I've gone places and like I went to a crawfish bowl last year somewhere and they brought out some kind of dessert. And one of the guys there was like, you eat dessert? I'm like, yeah, I enjoy dessert. And he's like, oh, you don't like eat anything sugar or anything unhealthy. And he starts telling me how he eats like shit. He don't do this and he don't have time to work out. And I've learned to just smile and agree because I don't want to sit there and lecture the guy on his fucking excuses he's making. We're having a good time at a crawfish bowl, Hey, Maya, good to see you. So anyway, rolling in. So that's like the philosophy and the psychology for me behind the whole fitness thing. I'm not trying to get a body ready for beach. I want to stay healthy. I want to be fucking in my 60s and I want to be able to enjoy grandkids and enjoy life and enjoy doing physical things. I want my dick to work. I want to be, moderately attractive the older I get and being able to take my clothes off. And I want to be able to climb ladders and shit when I'm 65, 70. I want to be able to do all this. There you go, King. Health is wealth. And it's true. Either you're going to pay in time and money now to keep yourself ahead of the curve, or you're going to pay to keep yourself well when you're getting sick. And I'd rather be ahead of the curve. I've seen, and I have a son that's growing up behind me, and I want to set a good example for him. And I want him to be able to set an example for his children, and so forth and so on. And it's just a lot of people overthink, over dramatize, overcomplicate. It's not really that hard. And he is getting into the, well, what do you do? And how do I do this? And how do I do this type thing? What works better? 5x5 or low weight, low reps? And does the Pilates mix this? Listen, if it's a 5x5, if it's a bro split, if it's a, push pull leg split, if it's a full body, if it's HIIT, if it's CrossFit, any of these things, doesn't matter. What matters is consistency and adherence. So discipline. Just give it a chance. People do something for 4 weeks and they're like, yeah, I can't even see my abs yet. Man, I'm like, dude, you've been doing it for 4 weeks. Your body doesn't even know what the fuck's going on yet. Like you haven't even had the chance to remotely rearrange the receptors and the chemical releases in your body yet, let alone you haven't even detoxed from all the junk. Like your body's just starting to respond a month in to a regular workout program. In 2 months, people are like, well, I don't think this is working. Like, what? Like you barely started. And that's a problem with today's society, is this instant gratification, everything, instant fucking fix for everything. And there's no magic pill to make a long-term sustainable quality change in your life. That goes along with anything. Your body's no different. Now they have this Ozempic shit that's crippling people, doing irreversible damage. So you go to the lengths of putting this poison in your body to lose a few pounds rather than put the fucking fork down and work out. Like, come on. What is that? And the shit you're doing to yourself, now they're saying this stuff's doing damage to your stomach and your intestinal tract. That's irreversible. All because you're too fucking lazy. So that's just the state of society. I ain't going to get into all that. So it's anything you do. If you pick anything you decide to do to pick as a fitness regimen, requires you to stick with it. Give it at least 6 months before you try to make an informed decision about whether it's working or not. And track that shit. In the beginning, you have to track it. You got to write down everything. And that along goes with that. I see guys like, man, I go to the gym 4 days a week and I'm like, well, what do you eat? What are you eating for lunch today? Oh, I'm going to go to Popeyes. Well, I'm going to eat pizza for dinner. I'm like, come on now. Yeah, but I work out hard. I work out 6 days a week and I'm not seeing any difference. I'm like, because you eat like shit. You can't have one without the other. There's 3 main components. That's training, nutrition, and sleep. If one of those are out of whack, it's going to throw a huge demand on the other 2, and you're still not going to optimize the results you would get as if they were all 3 in, somewhat harmony. Rest is crucial, especially the older you get. And then people think I'll train harder and rest less, and that's worse because you have less time to recover. Your body needs to recover in order to optimize the gains and the results. And there's shit that you do, like you put a beating on your tendons and your joints and your ligaments, and they don't have time to heal while you're building on muscle, building strength. And essentially what you're doing is working yourself right into an injury. Nutrition is just going to completely trump everything you do. If you get good sleep and train like a beast, but you eat like shit, you're fighting a losing battle. You're paddling upstream. Get gooder. Good to see you, brother. Happy New Year. Glad you came in. Then, obviously, if you're resting well and your nutrition's on point, you can have a lot better quality of life than most people. When it comes to the training, you're slacking, you're still not going to get any great results. But that's still better than eating like shit, training hard and resting, or vice versa. I think nutrition and rest, you're going to at least be, and your body's going to be on point. Everything's going to be firing. Your endocrine system's going to be working. Your circulatory, all your hormones are going to be pumping right. because you can't trump good nutrition. And what I mean by good nutrition is, cut processed food altogether. If it comes in a fucking box, don't eat it. Or if you want to, if you like shit that's out of a box, you know what I happen to like? I like shit like pancakes and an Eggo waffle. That's processed. That's basically all chemicals. But if I eat one every 2 weeks, it's not a big deal. It's just not going to be my main source of nutrition. So what should be is, as organic as you can get, whole foods. Processed food is linked to everything: inflammation, diseases, endocrine disruptors. It's full of estrogens and, what do they call these chemicals in the body that don't block the fat? I don't remember the words exactly. I'm not a fucking scientist. Took a break from my deficit. Started back today. I'm looking forward to it. Single ingredient foods only. That's awesome, brother. And that's it. Just try to eat whole foods, a clean, whole diet. If you're doing that 5 days a week, you can't go wrong. Source your protein as much as you can through whole food. And then have a basic understanding of macros with your nutrition. Protein, fat, and carbs. Understand the relationship and how they work. Understand how you respond. The nutrition is not a one size fits all beyond the obvious, clean, whole foods, right? The way your macros are going to balance out is dependent on from person to person. I've seen people who do well with high protein, little to no carbs, and high fat. And I have, like me, I want to, every time I go on a carnivore diet, which is high protein, high fat, no carbs, I do good for about 2 weeks, and I fall off. By week 4, I'm fucking sick. 3 times I've done it. 3 times it's happened. So understand how to dial your macros in. Understand your daily caloric intake needs. Understand where you have to be to target if you want to gain or lose. Not everybody's looking to lose weight in fitness. You have people that are looking to gain weight. So understand your daily caloric average that you need to take in so you can add or subtract from that, track that for a while. Then you're able to dial it in. It's a period of months that it takes to dial this in and start adopting this as an everyday habit and a lifestyle. Ooh, look at this. First super chat of the night. Maya. Get some W's in the chat for Maya. Coming in here, dropping the money already. Happy New Year, Maya. She said, thank you for helping me find the courage to take control of my life. Well, thank you for being receptive, but you did that. And I can't even take the credit for my stuff. That's God. And y'all need to understand that. I say that repeatedly for a reason, because I never want to start taking credit for the shit that's going for me in life. I owe that to God and the people in my life around me. It's amazing what happens in your life when you seek God and surround yourself with amazing people. And that goes for anybody. Thank you, Maya. Come on, whoever's in here, W's in the chat for Maya. Big $5 super chat. I can almost get my new flip-flops now. Thank you, sweetie. So like I was saying, you have to, you actually have to give it time to take hold and make it a routine and be able to see the results. You also have to be willing to trust the process and understand that it's going to take you about 3 months to see some kind of tangible result. And you're going to be the last one to notice it. It's going to be one of your boys or somebody at work or somebody you haven't seen in a while or some chick walking up like, ooh, do you work out? Ooh, you look good. You're not even going to notice it. But that's when somebody says that, you're going to be like, fuck yeah, you're on the way. And that means you can't deny that something has changed. I know I am my harshest critic, and I hope I stay that way. To a degree. It's not good to have an unhealthy relationship with yourself where you constantly shame yourself. I don't mean that. But you should be able to call yourself on your own bullshit. Because the first place we start fucking up is when we start believing our own excuses. And that's when it becomes easy to stop trying and start blaming. So never listen to that fucking bitch in your head, that liar. Told you, oh, it's not going to hurt to miss the gym today. It's not going to hurt to eat that fucking ice cream for the 4th time this week. And you don't need to take that. Oh, you don't need to train. Oh, you can need to rest. Oh, you can eat the pizza. Oh, you can do this. Next thing you know, that's all you're listening to. 2-3 months have gone by. You look like shit. You feel like shit. And you're like, what the hell happened? And that little fucking demon inside is laughing all the way to the bank, saying, got him again. So important that you stay vigilant and have a healthy system within of accountability, and be able to tell yourself the truth sometimes, even when it's uncomfortable. Like I always say, hard on yourself, gentle with others. Some of the others. Mute what? Y'all telling me you can't hear me again? Greetings from Slovakia. Just stopping by to spread some love and positivity. Also hit the like button so I can help with the algorithm. Oh, look at this guy. Why don't we have more trolls like this, y'all? Fucking awesome guy. Stopping by to spread some love. That's it. And he's telling y'all to hit that like button. Thank you, buddy. And Happy New Year to you in Slovakia. And Slovaks are some good people. I'm telling you. I know some. Oh, Happy New Year, Jody and Candy. Look at this. Happy New Year, y'all. Welcome in. Good. I'm glad y'all could stop by a minute. All right, I'm going to get back to what I was saying before I stopped. And so with that, it's more important that you focus on the things that I just mentioned, with giving everything a chance to unfold and actually work and take hold in your life before you give in. It doesn't matter if you do kettlebell routines, you do full body circuits, if you do bro splits, if you do 5x5, if you do this program or that. The important, obviously, you want to lift weights. You want to do something resistance, heavy resistance, and working yourself up to heavy. Thank you, Jody. Well, y'all see that? Thank you. The important thing is that you challenging yourself, which is the resistance. This is what I say, weight training. Put resistance on your body and your movements. Add resistance to them. Personally, I look for all-encompassing benefits. I want to be healthy. I want to be mobile. I want to look good. I want to feel good. I want to be functional. I want to be able to apply my strength to all areas in life. You know, I do a lot of manual labor. I do jujitsu, and I was always active and strong, and I want to stay like that. I don't get the people who can bench press, 400 pounds, but can't throw a fucking punch. So you're just like a big walking useless muscle that can't do shit. You can't even wipe your own ass or put your shoes on. You can't climb a fucking ladder. You can't get into something and pick up something heavy and walk it up a ladder. That makes no sense to me. I'm a functional guy. I want to be able to apply the strength that I've put time and energy into earning. And I want to be able to use it where it's a benefit. Obviously, I want longevity. So what I've adopted for some years now is full body circuits. And the important thing is whatever works for you. I find full body circuits convenient for the time demands that I have on my life. It's something I can do. I do a full body. Like I'll give you an example. I'll do 5 movements, 1 targeted body part. So like say I want to emphasize chest, I will do 3 chest movements, 1 back movement as the protagonist. So if it's a push, I'll do 1 pull to offset the push. So I'll do some kind of upper mid back movement with the press. I'll do 1 or 2 shoulder things, and 1 leg movement. And I'll do each of those in a series, do it into a circuit to where I do, 10, 12 reps of each movement, and back to back to back to back, take a break, do it again, back to back, usually 3 or 4 rounds. And then I can dial in my cardio with that. I don't have to have a separate cardio day, and I can dial my core in. I can throw a core movement in there. I prefer like hanging knee raises or hanging toe touches or something core related to keep the core strong, the abs looking tight, which they're not right now. But that's an example of what I like to do. So it's very convenient for time, and I can adjust the tempo according to the cardio I need. So I can just do the movements a lot quicker in succession, maybe throw an extra round in there to challenge my cardio a little bit. I like to get in about a zone 2 cardio where I'm breathing heavy enough to where I really can't talk. Short rest times in between rounds, no rest in between each movement, doing stuff like that. And that works for me. It's quick, it's efficient, it's effective. It gives me the mobility I need, it gives me the strength I need, and it gives me the aesthetic that I'm trying to shoot for. And I'll tell you, the stuff I do, it's like all I have to do is do it. And as a byproduct, I get the results. So, and it's something I can actually do. I can throw people around in jiu-jitsu. I can work. I can, pick up heavy shit. That's important to me. That matters to me. I believe in being a functional man and more than just, being able to go sit behind a desk. And, if the situation ever arises where I have to defend myself or my loved ones, me and my girl out, and I got to jack somebody up, I want to be able to have an opportunity to do that. Put myself in the advantage position, as I think every man should. And here's the truth. We weren't designed by God to be sedentary creatures. There's nothing natural. What's up, Horn? Happy New Year, man. Good to see you. We weren't meant to be stuffed in a fucking sausage suit and thrown in a chair for 8-10 hours a day, staring at a screen in artificial light. That's like a slow death. Think about that. Think about our ancestors who roamed this earth and for all of its glory, and packing up camp and killing their own food and, fighting away the danger and, celebrating around fires and eating food fresh from the earth and walking barefoot. Like, we're not meant to be like, this technology has really fucking rendered us soft and sickly. And modern medicine, which we're not going to get into that because it's a fitness stream, as bad as I want to. So stick with it. And I have no judgment for people who do whatever you want. I see guys in here that I respect and love, these gym bros that you kind of meet over the years. Like I'm seeing these same people. I've been at this gym since 2017. And I've seen some of the guys in there since then. And it's, you're in there doing your thing. You're moving, you're challenging yourself. You're still making quality gains. And that's what I respect. And I support that. I've seen guys come in. Who were, overweight and kind of bashful and sloppy looking. And I respect those people more than the guys who are in there every day. You know how hard it is to walk into a place where people are moderately fit and super fit, totally out of shape, wandering around, staring at the machines. You can't do shit. You're a guy in the middle of the gym lifting little tiny weights and shit. That's embarrassing. So kudos to that guy who comes in there out of shape in a weak state temporarily to come make that change. I always make sure to welcome those people when I see them. After I see them for about a month, I approach them. Tell them, man, I see you in here. You look like you made a big jump from the first day you walked in, huh? Looking good. You're getting strong, brother. Keep it up. You know how much that means to somebody who's in there genuinely trying, is a little ashamed and embarrassed of themselves, and the balls it takes to come into a place like that. They had this guy in there that I see. I don't know what happened. This dude must have had a breakup or something, because this guy comes in here and outworks everybody in the gym. I'm talking 2 hours straight, doesn't stop, pouring sweat. Just his shirt stuck to him. He's got his legs all wet. You can see where he pulls his socks up. There's a water ring around the socks. I mean, this dude just gets after it. He doesn't look up. Like, this dude's in the zone. He's fighting some demons. And the other day, my son and I were walking in, and this guy was walking out, and he just got that look on his face, like empty, in the zone, doesn't give a fuck, doesn't look up, doesn't acknowledge anybody, anything. And I stuck my head out. I was like, say, man, I said, I see you in here a lot. I said, good on you, man. I don't know what's going on, but good on you. And this big smile. Owen, don't come in here preaching in my stream. I'm going to say what I want in here. If it's sensitive for your ears, you're welcome to leave. I'm a normal red-blooded American man. I'm going to curse. If it's that offensive, you're welcome to leave. So I see the guy, and I'm like, good on you, man. We fist bump. And this guy had a big smile on his face. Like, you could just tell his chest puffed up, his chin came up. And, hopefully I made a difference in that guy's day. So, and if that's the case and you are coming in like a newbie, or you're a little out of shape, you're a little out of tune, and you kind of let some stuff go, don't worry about it. The kindest people in there are going to be the hardest workers seeing you come in. Rarely, you're going to get some jerk, some douchebag every now and then in the gym who's like, oh, look at this fat fuck, or look at this girl, or look at this guy, look at this spaghetti guy walking around all juiced up and douchey. But that's the exception. That's usually not the common type of person in the gym getting well and staying in shape. You'd be surprised how many kind people who were tortured by something in life that are in there working through things, and that are just so happy to see other people on the path. And that's what I love to see, genuinely. So whatever you decide to go with, I recommend a trainer to begin, just because you shave months off of routines of trying to put something perfect together. You just as soon come out of pocket a little bit and pay a guy to show you how to get started. And you can even tell them, years ago, I started, and I had a little break when I had my surgery and all, and I got back in. I have a dear friend of mine who's a trainer. And I told him, I said, look, I'm going to need you for about 6 to 8 weeks, get me jump started, and then I'm going to take it on my own. And there's no good trainer out there that's going to tell you, once we're apart, don't you copy what I taught you. Like, they're going to encourage you to take it to another level with yourself. Anybody that's really looking out for you, who's a professional, is going to want to see you do well with or without them. And they're more than likely glad to contribute to your jump start. And what you do is just copy your workouts and, bring it, literally copy, bring a pad and a pen and write down everything you did, reps, weight, everything, document, track it. And then that way you can track your progressive overload cycle. So you can know when to step up, when to add, what to take away, and what to adjust. Also, after the workout, you make a note of what you responded to best. See, over the months, you do that for a year, you'll have a perfect targeted workout just for you, that your body responds to, that you respond to, that you can do, that you're familiar with, you have good form, and you're going to get the best results. So invest a little bit on the front end for long-term savings on the back end. And take it seriously. This seemingly, what seems to be this fad thing and what people do for fun and all, is a really impactful aspect of life, which is the fitness, your health. It's life-changing. I can't stress that enough. The ripple effect it has in your everyday life, in your mental, in your emotional, and your spiritual health. How it all ties together so well. You know, your body's your temple, and it's more than just, you know, a meat sack for you to move from point A to point B in. You know, it's a representative. It represents who you are on your first impression. People, you say a lot by just how you show up. You know, and that's the language of the body and your posture and all say so much more about you than what you could ever say. Now, obviously, you know, if you're a good person and people get to know you, of course they can appreciate you and think more of you no matter what. But, you know, from the jump, it signals that you give a shit about yourself. You respect yourself. You're able to commit. You're able to get results. You have enough discipline and self-care to put in the time to eat right, sleep right, hit the gym and train. You know, obviously you train and you're consistent with it. So that's a sub-communication that speaks volumes, you know, of who you are and how you stand. Let's see what you said, Yogi. Herniated 4 discs of the spine, a 17-year-old. The spine of a 72-year-old. I'm 36. I push and push and push. I don't think pushing anymore is working. I believe in giving up, but I have to face the facts. I mean, you ought to consider like hydrotherapy or something, brother, where you can take the impact. Yeah. And what about getting the surgery? I don't know. I'm no fucking doctor or anything. I'm just throwing out suggestions. I hate to see that you're 36 years old and you could possibly not, your quality of life be diminished. You know who I'm going to tell you to listen to, Yogi? Maybe you have already. I don't know. Joe Dispenza. Well, brother, if you're about to give up and you're 36, you have the spine of a 72-year-old, like, what do you consider last resort? Where you can't walk anymore? Because it sounds like you're about there. I mean, how much less of a quality of life do you need before you're ready to do something about that? It's my observation. Like you say, last resort. What define your last resort? Uh, 15 pounds of what? Gain or lose 15 pounds? How much do you weigh, Yogi, and how tall are you? All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming in tonight. It's been a great new year so far. If you haven't yet, hit that like button. Hit the like. See, you believe you could still have a dedicated and determined mindset without pushing yourself to complete pain, but I do agree with Joe about some surgery or therapy. No, I get the oh, you're 6 foot and 244. Well, I think you'd benefit by losing some weight. I mean, that in itself could be a huge improvement in quality of life. I don't know. I mean, you seem like a good dude, Yogi. I'm not saying, believe me, I'm not saying anything negative. I wouldn't know you if I saw you in public. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, just the numbers there, 6 foot, 244. And if you have a jacked up spine, you know, you could lose a good 60 pounds, 50 pounds. You could be 190 and be in tip top. And that would take a huge load off the impact of your knees, your hips, and your back. Just that alone. I'd really like to see you have your spine back. I mean, at 36, I can imagine, dude. I can imagine you used to be a beast. How did you herniate 4 discs, if you don't mind me asking? Was it an accident? Was it just impact injuries over time? Or was it because you lifted, athlete? What happened? Yeah, there you go. Not just surgery, but therapy. I don't know. With the technology these days, I don't know that back surgery is a horrible thing. The things they can do for you now. Yogi had brain surgery with complications on my neck. Just going to physical therapy can help. Hoping to help you out. Thank you, Baby Blue. Anyway, like I was telling you before, pull up Joe Dispenza, Yogi, and get his book. Let me see. I'll tell you the name of it. An 13-ton truck crushed me. 13 years later, a beam fell on me. Holy shit, dude. How did a beam fall on you? Were you at work? Were you on a job? God darn. Let me get your name of that book. Come on. Becoming Supernatural, and You Are the Placebo. Shot, stabbed, run over. Gosh, good God, man. Sound like a fucking animal, Yogi. Still, no matter. 244 is pretty heavy for 6 foot. You would benefit greatly from losing, 40, 50 pounds. Yogi, I'm going to put the title of these books. I want you to listen to them. Just listen. Take it where you want after that. Okay, here comes the title. Salutations, Rob Marine. Good to see you, brother. Henry. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, man. You're here for a reason, brother. And people who come across the stream, we're getting some pretty fucking amazing stories. And I know I've had a crazy journey in life, and I'm still here. I don't believe people come on a stream. I don't believe in accidents in God's world. I think you come across the people you need to meet when you're supposed to meet them, and show up in the places you're supposed to be when you're meant to be there. This conversation could be something that you look into and possibly change your whole life, dude. You never know. But listen to those 2 books. It was supposed to be back to back. A few people chimed in. You Are the Placebo and Becoming Supernatural. Author Joe Dispenza. Interesting stuff. And there's been things out there I've plucked and applied to my life directly and have made a profound change, a huge impact. So we're going on at about 1 hour and 3 minutes. I'm not going to do the 100 push-up 100 day live accountability check-in tonight after this. Just to let y'all know, we're not going to be rolling back into that tonight. This is going to be my only live I do today, besides the one I did earlier, to let y'all know. Yeah, I'm telling you, Yogi, don't procrastinate on that. Trust me. You'll understand right when you start listening to the books to why I suggested it. But if we about 1 hour and 4 minutes, does anybody have any questions about the stuff we talked about, the fitness and whatnot, or anything we went over tonight? Does anybody have a question about anything? It doesn't have to be directly related to something on your plate, something you're struggling with. John Smoot said, God blessed us giving us life. It is up to us to appreciate it. Amen, John. C-Dub said, Joe, I want to make sure you and your family and friends are all safe in that bizarre accident last night. Ooh, yeah. Boy, was that a doozy. I'd gotten up in the middle of the night as I usually do, to take a piss and get a snack. And I like listening to something soothing, like a story or a podcast to go to sleep. And no, yeah, I know what you meant. I know what you meant. I was going to say that. So I'm scrolling through it probably 4:30 this morning and saw the headline that this guy, I got shadow banned. I got my monetization taken away. I got it all back. And I don't know if I'm still shadow banned or what, but I don't want to say anything that's going to jeopardize that again. So try to pay attention to where I'm going with this. That a guy who's affiliated with a certain group from originated overseas that doesn't agree with our way of life and our religion and who we are as America could potentially have attacked last night on Canal and Bourbon Street in New Orleans. No, C-Dub, nobody I know is associated or affiliated with that. Thank God. I don't even know. They haven't released names of the victims yet either. I'm sure it's possible I know something. You know, I'm sitting there reflecting. There's been times when I've gone to the French Quarter for New Year's. Crazy out there. It's a lot of fun. For when you're younger. Like, not something I'd enjoy now. But I mean, if you fuel with a bunch of alcohol and a ton of drugs and a ton of chicks everywhere, it's a good time. 22, 21 years old. So yeah, the guy turns off a canal onto Bourbon Street. And if obviously a lot of y'all don't know the layout of the French Quarter, we have Canal Street's one of the main through streets that runs north and south. Canal Street runs north and south. It's one of the main throughways. It's actually where the French Quarter begins or ends, depending on which vantage point you take. From Canal Street over to Esplanade is the French Quarter. So it's a string. I forget how many blocks. It's walkable. Take you a little minute, and they have a bunch of these through streets that run parallel to Canal. Esplanade and Canal are north and south. So you have all these other streets, Royal, Bourbon, Decatur, St. Peter, and Bourbon is one of the streets. Obviously, everybody knows Bourbon Street. Well, at nighttime, at a certain time of night, they block Bourbon Street off from the east-west directions. You can go north-south over Bourbon, but you can't go up and down Bourbon Street itself. And Bourbon's a one-way from west to east. You can go toward Esplanade, which is east. And in the first block off of Canal, you know, there's a few places. That's considered the end of Bourbon. And on the other end of Bourbon is the gay section. So I never spent much time down that way. But that was like the gay section of Bourbon. You know, you come a few blocks off Esplanade. Is you know, we go past the gay bars and stuff, but I never went in. It wasn't my cup of tea unless we were getting drugs or something. And but the end of Canal is considered the end of Bourbon. I mean, yeah, on Canal and Bourbon is considered the end. But once you turn, the first cross street is where they put these steel poles. They have these permanent openings in the street all the way down, east to west. At every cross street, on the upside and the downside, there are these big holes where they just put these big steel poles in there to where you can't turn in. It's only for foot traffic. And so the guy turned off Canal going east, and he floored it. And you could see, I saw the fuzzy video, the dude just and had not had a man lift there, which is just a piece of construction equipment that you can get in and operate the joystick, and it raises you up and down to get to heights. If that machine wasn't there, he probably would have gone all the way to the first set of poles, just mowing people down. So it's very unfortunate. Like I say, I say pay attention to what they're trying to move behind the scenes. Like, yeah, this happening. It's fucking tragic, believe me. And it's disrupted again. Well, I mean, and then you look at how this all comes about. But we're not going to get into that. I don't have the bandwidth right now to get into one of my conspiracy theories with y'all. But I can tell you this: don't get caught sleeping and too focused on the incident. Because if you noticed, every time something major happens, some major event or some major controversy, by the time it's over with, it disappears, just goes away all of a sudden. And then you look at all these changes that were made, these bills that were passed, and no, Yogi, this wasn't a vehicle malfunction. But you never know with the politics we deal with, and just the politics we deal with. You just never know what kind of shit they're pulling. So I want to be real careful about what I say. We'll leave it at that. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, this dude had a flag on his bumper, like just casually going through the streets of New Orleans, and never set off I don't know. Yeah, they found some other stuff. Yeah, Yogi, check it out. Look it up. Look at y'all. I tried to trim it. Where's Brian at? You still in the chat, Horn? I tried fixing my mustache. That's why I'm not a barber, y'all. It wasn't too bad. But no, besides that, anybody else, any questions? Look at that, 111 and 11 views, 11111. Right, C-Dub, that's what I was alluding to. They went and raided his house in Houston. So they've already been to Houston and start kicking doors in and shit and trying to get to the bottom of it. They found that they may have some accomplices and stuff now. Yeah, this is going to be crazy. Now, I know they held up the Sugar Bowl. And another thing, in 2001, when they had the Super Bowl here, the Rams and the Patriots, that was 2011. Not 2011, 2001, after the World Trade Center attacks. And look at this. They have the Super Bowl again this year. Coincidence? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. And then they have the Sugar Bowl here, which is every year. That's been postponed. I don't think there's ever been a time in history when they've postponed the Sugar Bowl and rescheduled it for another day. What are they going to do with all these people who have taken off work, rented the Airbnbs, paid for airfare, paid for accommodations? And I don't know. I guess they're just going to have to miss. They're probably going to, if anybody's in Louisiana and wants to see the Sugar Bowl, you could probably go into the city. Probably be a way to letting people in to fill up the seats. A lot of people's not going to be able to go or be able to buy some tickets off of people who can't stay, trying to offload their tickets. Should be a good game. Notre Dame and Georgia. Yeah. I keep forgetting it's Wednesday. It's only one day they postpone it. Nobody's leaving for that. I don't know. They got a lot of people that would come here for the Sugar Bowl, for the events and all, and leave the next day. But being that it's a Wednesday, middle of the week, a lot of people probably just stretch their stay out to Friday or Saturday. But and then we have the Super Bowl coming back here, and you're going to have all the Super Bowl activities and events leading up to the Super Bowl, which is a really fun time in New Orleans. If you happen to be here, or you're looking to take a trip to get away for a little while and you want to come have a good time, now would be the time to come. Every time they have a Super Bowl here, the city lights up. It's awesome. You think so, C-Dub? I don't think people would have booked their rooms just for today. The game was scheduled for today, right? Oh, you mean scheduled to leave tomorrow? I see. Yeah, crazy turn of events. I don't know. Is it really that crazy anymore to see some shit like that? I don't know. Why am I not very surprised? To be honest with you, I'm not really moved about it at all. What did I tell you, C Dub? What the fuck? You're right. I did say that. Wow. That's interesting, C Dub. How did you remember that? I just said that in passing, too. Fucking prophecy. I said this, y'all. No bullshit. That's crazy. You know what I'm talking about, King? Like I'm not even bullshitting. Like all the crazy shit that we get now, like it's almost like become an expected thing. You know, what big thing is going to happen next? Yeah, no shit. I did say that. It is when it hits that close to home. And I'm sitting there thinking about it, reflecting like how many nights I've spent in that very exact corner. Right there on that block, there's I don't know if it's even there anymore. It's a Crystal Burger. It's like these little greasy castle burgers. Um, I am desensitized, Yogi. I am desensitized. It's crazy. And I can remember vividly, and they had a club down at the end there we would go to usually to end the night. That would be like a last stop on your way out. And had a Crystal Burger place. And right, you remember that. The Crystal Burgers. After you get juiced up and sauced up, there's nothing like some good greasy castle burgers with some hot French fries. There's always some conflict, always some bullshit happening inside or outside, out in the front fighting or inside somebody's getting into it. Everybody's drunk on something. Thank you, Bobcat. Thank you, sir. I just pointed it up today. I was looking for Brian Horner. See, I made the mustache a little crooked. See? It's a little higher on the side. I didn't even mean to go this deep, but I went this side and it was uneven. Then I had to come back to this side. I come back to this side. Da, da, da. Yes, Jesus, I'm in StreamYard. I ain't calling you Jesus. I'll call you Joker. Unless your name is Jesus. Yeah, I'm in StreamYard. What do you think? How did you know that? But anyway, C Dub and Baby Blue, I can remember many nights going to that Crystal Burger. End of the night, last meal, you know, you got that good buzz. You just need a little something to get you home before you go home and crash. Stop at the Crystal Burger, get just a half a dozen of Castle Burgers. Yeah, I know you have it. I mean, I understand you have a Joker, but how can you distinguish that I'm on YouTube StreamYard rather than streaming from YouTube? How did you know that? Y'all get them lights up for me. Come on. Oh, you're right, C Dub. We just had this whole talk. How did I let that slip away? Because it's not vertical, of course. Yeah. Thank God I don't go. Oh, Joker, you just guessed, huh? Good guess. You're right. I am on StreamYard. But yeah. B Rabs, Happy New Year, Proudmasculine. Keep up the content. Thank you, brother. Happy New Year to you. How was your New Year? I hope everybody had it. I had a very pleasant New Year. Very fulfilling. Good food. My squeeze. We had Fancy participating in the events. They had the night with us. Why do I have Antarctica? What do you mean? Where do you see Antarctica? Yogi. That's not Antarctica. I don't know what you're referring to. Are you referring to this side? This thing? Well, that's a picture of a pelican, 2 pelican pictures, some kind of lamp, and a strawberry festival poster. You see, 77 strawberry festival. And a shelf over here that's not fastened to the wall. It's just standing up. This is not my studio. This is my dining area. In front of me here, there's a table. And to the right, I have windows, and to the left is the kitchen. Until the studio is up and running, this will be my office, my studio. Okay, yeah. No, my girlfriend likes collecting things like this from the city she's from. They have a very popular strawberry festival here, so she tries to get the year's posters, and this is her year 77. So yeah. All right. Any other questions? Anything else anybody want to talk about? Any topics? Yes, indeed, Baby Blue says. Good times. Well, look, starting this new year, I'm really looking forward to the an opportunity to make things happen this new year, and I'm really looking forward to this channel growing. In these last few months of the year, I've had this explosion in growth. This community has developed, and I'm truly grateful for everybody in here, for everybody that comes and contributes here. You know, my admin, C-Dub, Baby Blue, Brian, Angela, a few of them we haven't seen. Of course, my son, Junior, who's a little out of commission. I had a little too much fun last night. He's young. He enjoys that. You know, everybody who comes in here and contributes and participates in here. Yogi. Yogi came in here a couple streams ago and brought some deep thought into this. All of my regulars, King, you know, all the people that are on here tonight, probably because and you know, I've wondered why people don't show up like they do in my late stream. That makes sense. It's the vertical thing. Get Gooder, he's here, he's just listening, he said. Says he's just soaking it in. Soaking it in. And for all the kind things that people have brought here and all the generous compliments and sentiments, all the people that have come in and said that I've helped them and made some kind of difference, some kind of positive effect in their lives. Thank all of y'all for your support. I really couldn't do it without you. The people who contribute financially through super chats, the donations. And this is why I want to expand and offer more content to build more value, to offer you more solutions. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And I'll tell you, this journey has been a little crazy. At one time, this brand was popping. I used to have at least one client per day during the week. I wouldn't do Sundays. Monday through Saturday, I'd have at least one client per day. And some things happen. I ain't going to get too deep into it, but it's part of like the hero's journey where you're challenged and you come back and you challenge and you come back. And I never gave up on it. And I'm so glad I didn't. And I have this great, that's right, Get Gooder. That's why we have 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. Sometimes we need to shut the fuck up and open these and these. Oh, look, there we go. C-Dub, it's got my back. So, but you know, and this is the things that I come in here and tell guys and share with guys is not just theory. These are things that I've implemented into my life for the last 10 years. To impart this change, this long-term quality change, and it's been an amazing journey. some lows, some low lows, y'all. But some of the best experiences of my life. And to dream that I'd be living the life I am now, which is incomplete as far as my vision. But I was telling my lovely this the other night, Mrs. Proudmasculine herself, that I've never been more fulfilled in life in every aspect. Not everything is exactly the way I want it, but it's amazing in its own right. My relationship's great. My employment situation's amazing. Everything I do, I love. I love creating content and bringing value to men and helping people. Everything I've done in my life, this is my life's work that I pour out to y'all to give you a leg up and a path forward so you don't have to go fucking struggle and make mistakes for years like I did. And, you know, people think, got a good feeling. Mm-hmm. If you ever heard the real song from back in the day, I think it's the 60s. That's a good song. I knew C-Dub from the stream. He came in. He was one of the first people in here. And it just, you know, this is what I'm telling y'all. I used to say this in the beginning a lot about God bringing people into your life. And I think I mentioned it tonight. God bringing you into the situations, the people you need to meet, and the things you need to experience right when it's necessary. And putting this community together, meeting people like C-Dub, like you, Baby Blue. And it just so happens that y'all in the area. C-Dub's in Baton Rouge, you in the city. It just happens like that. And this is what happens when, you know, I made that important and life-changing decision to turn my life over to God, to seek God for direction. I don't always do it perfectly, believe me. But he brings the people that I need here. And he brings people to me, that need to hear what I have to offer. And it's always happened like that. And it's through that lens, seeking God, that I get to see everything as either a lesson or a blessing. So it's all a blessing, you know. And I'm glad I stuck with it, because there's a lot of good things to come. And you see some of the things I do, like the 100 push-ups a day, and, you know, getting up and going through the tough things and battling through things. I'm inspired by the people who come here. Sometimes I got to do things that are not because of me. It goes beyond me, and it's for y'all. So when a guy does call and have, so when a guy calls with a problem with his relationship, trying to make a change and can't get his shit together, and just, nothing's clicking right now, and he's in the dark, that I can tell him with confidence, because I do what I say and I do what I tell y'all, and I practice these things. I don't just say it. And this is this is why I'm able to say this. And this body of work I put together is life experience. It's real life. And it's the things that worked for me for a long time and have exponentially elevated me in my life. So yeah, Baby Blue's a widow. She said that in the beginning. She was here before you, C-Dub, and she said that. It's a fighter. That's what I want. That's what I surround myself with people who are seeking to go higher, seeking to elevate. And I've learned over the years how important it is that the people and the vibe you surround yourself with, how much of an effect that has on your life. This is why I'm very, I discriminate heavily of who I let close to me. It has a profound impact. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yogi. He's looking at you, baby blue. Last month was a little rough, but I haven't been on. Yeah. That's what are you talking about, baby blue? That's an amazing compliment. Yeah, especially during the holidays. And this is why I made it a point to stay streaming consistently through the holidays and mention it multiple times. Let's keep people in mind who the holidays isn't all about, holiday cheer. Some people are going through some dark shit during the holidays. It brings up some good and bad. C-Dub said he can't beat a yellow dot, but post the results. What do you say? Post physique. See what you got. C-Dub's in there with that big glowing smile. I don't know, Yogi. That's a tight race. You got your work cut out for you. And he's got game. And he's got a mouthpiece. But good. So it's just a little peek in. And, obviously we're going to keep going at it here. Keep moving forward. Keep pressing. And you see little moments like that. That's what this community is all about. And this is why I want to grow it. And we typically carry a really good vibe and a good sense of community here. And I love that. I'm all about that. So again, thank you everybody for your support and for your presence and for your participation and your time. It's a reciprocal existence. We all provide, we all give, we all bring something to the table, and that's important. So, well, good stream, everybody. I hope y'all got some value out of the fitness talk. And I'll be putting more polls in to see some stuff we can address. Look, I'm open to topics. All y'all got to do is DM me or email me. And obviously, if you want help, some one-on-one coaching, you can go through my email, which is posted in the description. Well, I don't know about this description, but I'll have to drop it in. DM me on Instagram, or you can tell me here and we'll start the conversation here and move it off. There's some things I just can't cover, in a busy live stream. No, the email is not in the bio because this is a pretty recently created new email. So I'll talk to my guy and get it all put in. But I usually, like in the live streams that I do at night, the 100-day challenge, I'll put all that information in there, my email, my Instagram, the Telegram link for the 100 push-ups or 100-day challenge. These lives on my Wednesdays are set up by somebody else. Yeah, my IG is the same. There it is. That's my Instagram. Yeah, I think he was just kidding, Yogi. I think he's just messing with you. Well, good. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. And Happy New Year. May all of I really recommend everybody sitting down tonight or tomorrow and reflect on your 2024 and project your 2025. Set some intentions for the year. Set some intentions on things that you want to see changed, like take an inventory and get that stuff out in the open. Sort through 2024 and see what needs to go, see what needs to stay, and see what needs to be added for 25. That's a real important process. We'll see, Yogi. We'll see. I got a good feeling about this whole change of the direction of our government, the direction of our country. The whole social vibe has elevated. People are getting tired of the woke shit. more people are looking to get back into traditional roles and starting families and, contributing back to society. We're going to be getting rid of some people that don't belong here. I mean, it's all that stuff is crucial to a functioning society that we need. And look, we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, thank you for coming in, everybody. And tomorrow night, I'll be on live for the 100 Push-Up Challenge daily live stream tomorrow night. And I'll see y'all then. And Happy New Year, everybody. See y'all on the next.